It's Week 10 of the 2024 season, and this one features the Ravens' creative quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Ravens and the Bengals on Thursday night primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be let out by their left-handed quarterback.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. An inside give, Brown. That one a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down. The numbers there for Brown from a week ago. 15 carries, 59 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame, he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he'll be taken down at the 46. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, a give to Brown. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. And defensively here, it's hard to overlook the fact that this is an offense that's dead last in the NFL in rushing. So this back seven's going to be tested. Heck, might be more of a back 8. No doubt about that. And they surrender the catch here and the first down.
Now a short one to Gesicki. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
That's a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a first and goal.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. They'll look to throw here. And his pass incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And that will be incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them. Now in his 8th year in the NFL.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And a stop made by Cam Taylor-Britt. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 2nd and 9 now. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Ravens at 5-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down. Running from the gun with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Stout now. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And they love to find different ways to get into the football. We know that. And you can see he comes into this week 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. Taken down at the 42. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. Here's 2nd and 8. This will be caught by Brown. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball. 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Again, it's Henry. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 4. He dumps it off for Henry. So he stopped for no gain. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now back to throw. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4 brings up 2nd down at the 36-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. A short throw caught by Andrews. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd.
In motion, the tight end. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by Jordan Battle. And the Bengals are going to get the football here at their own 23. Shifts by him. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Bengals.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. This is Brown going up the middle. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
There's the stiff arm. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. That good for 19 of a first down. They'll set up a throw.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Flowers.
Well, the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Isaiah Likely.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Ravens are an extra point away now from moving out in front.
Extra point right down the middle. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
On the handoff, this is Brown. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
At the 30-yard line.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime to get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for first and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Flowers.
2nd and 5.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Looking to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. B.J. Hill never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he gets the first down.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. In motion goes the tight end. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man. It's Brown. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They're going to look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That is the big fella, Nami Matabike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. Now third down and very long.
Back to throw here. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. So that a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Forced out to his left. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
At the 47-yard line.
They'll look to throw. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. But now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
The Bengals set to take over. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
In motion, the tight end. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now a short one to Gesicki. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. 2nd and 4.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's across midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. They'll look to throw again. Open man is Higgins. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Samaje Perine, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals have taken a 4th quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that gives them a 3-point lead. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Ravens offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down and 8.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen, but this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Bengals offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Things out at this point, right? Onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a gain of 10. And the Bengals 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll look to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll set up a throw.
That's taken in by Higgins.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Ravens offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest, and this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Inside handoff, Henry. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll run it again with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. They'll look to throw now on first down.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at their 49-yard line.
He'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
He's back to throw.
Throw caught by Flowers.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They're going to look to throw.
Here we go, this to avoid overtime.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the game will continue for at least one more play.
To not finish a game on a defensive penalty, that's why they get one more untimed attempt.
And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Bengals are going to get out of here with a W.
They knew how to quiet this rival stadium, Charles. I mean, not only did they get the win, but they get the win by taking the lead in the 4th quarter to hand their division opponent a big loss.
And they're elated, and they should be, because they did exactly that. Went to a rival's house and stunned them, and did it with a 4th quarter comeback. And every team in the league prides itself on controlling the 4th quarter. It's even more difficult when you don't do it at home against a division rival.
So for the Bengals, That's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.